Okay, so good evening, guys. So in the last class, what we were doing means initially I started with the JDBC. So after that, we have seen servlets. The like last two classes, actually we have done one kind of a mini project. So and also I think last class I taught you guys the Hibernate as well, right? So yeah, so now from today, what we will do is we will be learning Spring Boot. So when I started with the Spring Boot, so what I will do is instead of going for theory and all, it's maybe time consuming or waste as well. So instead of that, what I will do is we will doing the project like we'll use this practical approach. Okay. So whenever something annotations are coming, okay, so what I will do is I will explain how it will work and what is the use of that. Okay, so we'll use that practical approach to solve that. We'll learn like that. Okay, so that is one thing. And yeah, so from today we'll start with the Spring Boot. Okay, so when you gone to an interview, so basically the first question they will ask you, can you explain me about what do you know about dependency injection, and like what is the use of it? Okay, so this is the normal question. If you put a resume as a Spring developer, so the first question they will be ask you this question. Okay, so now what is dependency injection? Okay, so now let's say we have a class called as some class. Imagine we have a class name called as John. Okay, now we have one more class called as Smith. Okay, here we have Smith here like this. Okay, so now this Smith having something called as work method. Okay, so something like this void work like that. Like this we have one work method here. Okay, now what is happening is this John, he want work method from Smith. Now you have many options. One option is you can simply extend. Okay, extend Smith. Okay, or else if Smith is interface, you can implement that method, or right. So like that. Okay, so this John can use this the work method by extending, or or else inheriting, or uh, implementing he can use. But the problem is in real uh, in real time scenario, what will happen when you do this? Okay, when you are inheriting, or either you are implementing class, sorry, interface. So the tight coupling is happening. Okay, because of the dependency, right? So the Jan is completely depend upon the Smith to use this work method. Okay, so as a developer, you don't want any tightly coupled code, or like tightly dependent couple like code in your project. So because of that, what we will use is we use something called as dependency injection. Okay, so the word itself, it is there, dependency injection. Okay, so in dependency injection, what we will do is instead of extending the class or implementing the interface, what I can do is, now the Smith want the work method, right? So for that, what I will do is I will simply create Smith like this, Smith S like this. Okay, so I can use Smith. Okay, so usually what will happen, yes dot, when I give work will come. Okay, so like how can you do that with the Spring? Means we use something called as auto void like this. Okay, so when I use auto wired Smith test like this, so I'm able to use the work method. Okay, so that is the main what that is actually basically we'll call it as a dependency injection. So we are actually injecting the object of Smith, okay, to use the work method. Okay, so this I will explain in Spring. Okay, so now I think you know about what is dependency injection and what is the use of AutoWire. Okay, so you can explain this no, and explain about the dependency concept. Okay, so this is the dependency injection. So now this is fine. Now next what I will do is, yeah, so we will create one project. Okay, so now if you want to create a Spring Boot project, so we have a lot of options. So one of the option is you can click on file and you can click on new. You can click on the Spring Starter project. Okay, not this one. You can click new on Spring Starter project here. Okay, so this is the one way you can create this project, Spring project. Okay, happily you can do it. Next. Here you can put web like that. You can add dependency. There are a lot of dependencies are there. If you want to add MySQL connector, just type SQL. Okay, so this is the one way to create Spring project. We have one more way. For me, according to me, it is very easy to do create a project. Okay, so that is what you can do is in Google just type Spring initializer like this, initializer like that. If we have, now we have the Spring initializer. When you click this, okay, so see here, this kind of the web page will open. Okay, so here you don't need to do anything, simply write so here the project name you can give demo is there. You can change the project name, so don't change any option here. Keep everything like this. So here just click on this add dependencies here. Okay, when you click this add dependencies, so here all the dependency files will come. Now what will happen, I want what I want my Hibernate, right? So yeah, so here what will happen, here I'm not using Hibernate. Actually I use something called as JPA, which is the Hibernate framework only again. Okay, so I want this no, JPA, right? So I can click this. Okay, again add dependencies. So in a project previously in the last class and all previous classes I use something JSPs we used to do, right? So now I want to use HTML pages in my project. So for that I use something called as theme leaf, THY, like theme leaf I want. Okay, similarly I want to add the Spring. For that I will type web, Spring web. Okay, so I need to click this. Okay, so similarly if you want to add MySQL connector, just type MySQL driver, this one. Okay, so now what will happen, so now you added the dependencies, right? Spring JP added, theme leaf is added, web is added, driver is added, like that. Okay, so you just need to click on this generate. Okay, so now when you click this generate, one zip folder will get generate. Okay, I will show you. Okay, let me delete this, not just I'll put it here. Where is the project? Back here. Okay, so this kind of a zip folder will get downloaded. Okay, so when I click this generate, zip folder will come. Okay, so now the zip folder will come. What you have to do is you just need to extract this. Okay, extract all options, right? Extract like this. Okay, now the demo, the project got created, right? So how to import? Now you have the file. Okay, all the dependencies, everything is in the file. So how can I import it? So just open this and just copy the path. So this is my path, right? So here is the pom.xml is there. I'm simply copying this path. Then what I will do is I will click on file, click on import. Okay, So existing Maven project, click next. Okay, so here root directory, just paste the path and give enter. See here pom.xml came and give finish. Okay, so it will take some 2 minutes or depends upon your internet speed. So if your internet speed is very fast, sorry, it will download very fast. See here, now the project got created. So if you observe when you click this pom.xml here, okay, so here you are able to find all the this dependencies like JPA or theme leaf or web. Okay, Spring Connect, MySQL connector is there. Okay, so this is one of the easiest method where you can see what will happen instead of going to the sites finding that pom.xml files or jar files. So you can use this method to download. I'm sorry, to install the project in your like Spring. Okay, just add and give generate. Okay, is easiest method, right? So this one. Okay, now the project is created. Okay, so this project having a lot of sections. The one section here you can write the Java code under demo. So if you have any HTML or JSP files, you can keep inside templates. Okay, so templates will have your HTML or JSP files. Okay, so similarly you have the all Maven dependency files are here, and pom.xml file is here. Okay, so like that now the Spring Boot project got created. Okay, so now here the major advantages if you use the Spring framework, Spring Boot is the for me personally, what is the major advantages? See, in like normal projects and all, you have to configure the Tomcat, right? So you need to download the Tomcat and configure the application and all, right? The Spring Boot projects are basically okay. So which have a kind of a inbuilt Tomcat server. So if you want to just run, just click on run as. You can click on the Spring Boot. Okay, when you click this, Spring Boot project will get automatic. I mean, the configuration, the Tomcat configuration is already done with the Spring Boot. By clicking that, so you don't need to install anything. You don't need to install Tomcat. Server is not at all required. Okay, so it have pre-configured Tomcat is there in Spring Boot app. Okay, so this is the use, right? So now what I will do is, so I have to do some configurations here. Okay, when compared to like previous project, you have done that JDBC project one, right? So there, how much hectic if you want to do something, it was very hectic that time because you have to write a lot of MySQL like JDBC programs in order to achieve CRUD operations. But in case of Spring Boot, we use JPA repository, so it is very easy to create a project, and a lot of the configuration files is very to configure the project is very easy and very simple. Okay, so now what I will do is I will click on this application properties. Okay, so in application properties, all your configurations will come, including your port number. If you want to change some your okay port number like that, you can change. So and also all your MySQL configurations, everything will be configured here. Okay, so now what I will do is I will let me type this spring dot jpa. Why it is not detecting? Yeah, it is dot hibernate ddl auto, like that I will give. Okay, so here what I have to do is I have to give the URL and URL the sense port number of MySQL and password I have to give here and URL as well. So for that I will type spring dot uh, database dot URL is equal to JDBC colon MySQL MySQL colon localhost localhost. Now the port for MySQL is how much? What is that? 3306, right? 3306. So here I have to specify the database name here. Database, it's right only, right? Spring. Oh, okay. This is not Spring database. This is data source. SOURC. Yeah, now it is right. Yeah, now here you have to pass the database name. What database can I pass here? Yeah, in the XAMPP, I have something called as sales here. Okay. Inside the sales, I have something called as product here. The database and tables are already created. Okay. So here ID is there, name is there, brand and price is there. Okay. So everything is already there here. So what I will do is I will use the same database table and database I use. Okay. So what is the name of? Yeah, sales is the database name. Okay. So now here I will pass sales here. Now I have to specify my MySQL username and password. So for that, spring dot data source. Sorry, data source. Yeah, data source. Data source dot username. Right, you name like the username. My database username is root. Okay. So by default, username is root only for MySQL. So here I have to pass the my spring dot database password for the MySQL. Okay. Sorry. Data source dot password. Okay, so I have not given any password. I'm just leaving this blank like this, empty. Okay. So these are all the configurations we have to do in the Spring project. So now, next what I will do is, yes, how to write my JDBC configurations, right? So in my project, I'm not using JDBC. I'm using something called as JPA repository, right? Hibernate I'm using. So now what I will do, I will need to create a interface here. Okay, so here I will give product repo. Okay, so now what I will do is, now internet interface got created. So as you know, in the Java class I taught you, if one interface is what do you say, extending another interface, we have to use not implements, right? We have to use something called as extends only, right? The relationship between two interfaces are what? Implements or extends? It's extends, right? So I'm using extends here. Extends, I will call JPA repository. Okay, repository. Yeah. Now I repository spelling mistake. JPA REPOSI. Oh, last T I added. Yeah, repository. I think now it's right. Yes, now it's right. Okay. See here, it's getting from the Hibernate package. Sorry, Spring package. Okay. So now I'm just calling this JPA repository. This JPA repository is there, right? So when I open this, open declaration, it have all the methods like yeah, it have all the methods. See here, the find all is there, find all like that. So basically, see delete a batch, delete functions. So all your CRUD operations will be with the JPA repository only. Okay. Now I am extending this class, right? So product repository. So Now if I use this project repository class, I can easily able to access all the methods. Okay, so now extend jp repository. So here I will give product comma, I'm passing something called as long here. Okay, so this is your choice, either you can pass integer or product. So I will tell you why I am doing like this. So for this jp repository I have to tell, so this is the product, right? So I have to create a class called as product here. So why I have to create a product? Because I need to map with my database, right? So id, p name, brand and price is there. I need to map, right? So for that I'm creating product class. Okay, yeah, product, where is the class name? Yeah, product. Okay, I've created the product here. So in product what I will do is I need to just need to map all the things. Okay, so for that private long id, private string, private string, p name, brand, price, I need to map. Okay, so for that private string p name, that is product name, private string p brand, private string price. I think price only, na? Price is there. Yeah, price is there. So ID is there. P name is there. P brand, P price. Okay, so make sure you are giving the same column. Okay, be specific about that. So now I have given that. So now what I will do is I will simply right click. I can click on source. I will click on generate getters and setter methods. Select all. Click on generate. Now getter and setters we got. Next I want one parameterized constructor. Click on source. Okay, click on constructor. Yeah, where is that source? Yeah, click on constructor using fields. Click this generate. Now click again source and click on constructor using fields, and I want default constructor. Okay, click on generate like this. Okay, so now here I have to use two annotations. One is I have to use called as NTT. Okay, like this, and another is @id. Okay, so guys, you will get two things. Okay, one is a Spring framework data annotation and Java persistence, like that. Okay, so choose this Java X persistence. Okay, so I'm just giving, specifying the get id is there, right? So which is id. Okay, and now entity. Okay, so now, so I have just mapped with my database. Okay, now it's easy to get and set wherever if I want. Okay, so this is fine. Next is here, how to mention something called @repository, like that. Click this import. Now I have a repository here. Now almost set. So next what I will do is I want to use this product repo, right? So for that I will create one more class, that is product service. Product service, click on finish. So in product service, I have to specify annotation service. Okay, this is capital letter. Okay, so now this is the product repo, right? So this is actually extending JPA repository. So now this product repo will contain all the methods, right? Like one for read, one for insert, one for delete, one for update, like that. Okay. Now we have this product repo here. If I want to use this in my project, my services, so I don't need to extend it, because if you extend, what will happen? The product class is completely depends upon this product repo. So instead of that, so the easiest way what I can do is I will do auto wire. Okay, so which mean to get the dependency injection. So what I will do is I can simply do like this. Okay, product repo like this. Okay, product repo like that. I just got it. I will give auto wide. Okay, so auto wide product repo like that I've used. Now when I give repo dot, I'm able to use save method, update method, delete method. So all the methods I'm able to get it. Okay, so now I want something called a save method, right? So for that, just give public void save product. See why I'm giving like that? See, I've created this product, right? So now when I call repo dot save, see here, when I give, if I want to use this save method, what is telling? Yes dot entity, which means it is indirectly telling. So if you want to use the same method, you have to pass this product object. Okay, so here what I will do, dot save. See here, this is entity, right? It is asking for not ID, it is asking for what? It is asking for entity, which means for that what I will do, I will create product here, product p, like that. Okay, now if you want to save, I will put save p here, like that. Okay, so this is for the save. Okay, so if you want to use save method, then you have to use the entity, that is p. Okay, because of that I am passing product p, like that. Okay, now this is for the save something insert. Okay, so next what I will do, I want to read the data from the database. So for that, what I will do is I will get it as a list. Okay, it's better I will get it as a list. I want to display it. Okay, so for that I will type public list product, like this. I will pass product list all. Okay, list all is my method. I will import this list from util package. Now I will pass return. I will pass return repo dot find all. Okay, so this is to perform read operations. Now from front end, if I want to perform read operations, how to call this list all. Okay, so similarly, I have to give for update and delete. So for that, I will write two more method, that is public product get. So always remember, if you want to update or delete, okay, so two things are required. No, sorry, not two things. One thing is required, that is ID required, right? So for that, I will pass long ID here, and within the small brackets here, like this, and return repo dot find by id dot get. Okay, so I'm passing get here. Okay, lastly I will use delete. Okay, that is public void delete. Okay, again, if you want to perform delete, you have to perform id here. Here repo dot delete. Sorry, I have to use delete by id, not delete. One minute, let me delete by id like that. Okay, see here, I have insert, I have read operations, I have edit, I have delete, like that. So now I have all the methods here. Now what I will do is okay, so it's time to create a controller here. So for that I will create new, click on class. So the controller name is product controller. I will click on finish. So here I will use annotation controller. @request mapping. Public string view page. So here I will pass return index. Okay, just import this request mapping here. Okay, so now it is going for the index page, right? So under the templates you have to create index.html page. So here file, not file, yeah. So here right click, file, yeah, it's file only, right? So okay, I will click on other. Okay, HTML file is there here. Okay, click next, click on index. So click next, finish. Here hello from index. Okay, so hello from index is coming. Now if I want to run this hello.index page, so right click, run as Spring Boot app. Okay. So it is throwing some exception. We'll see what is that. Okay. It is telling the server time zone value unknown or recognized represent more than one time zone. Okay. See this error we got in Hibernate as well, right? Yesterday.
I think you have to enter that UTF thing.
Same thing we have to do. Okay. Uh, Here we have to enter. So for that, what I will do, I will go for just Google it up. Okay. So whenever you get it, any error, just Google and we have this Stack Overflow. Okay. So click that. See here, there will be a lot of solutions like this. So you can choose one of the solution. So here, yeah, you can use this UTC time zone like that. I'm just copying this. I will paste here. See here, sales is my database. Question mark. Okay, so UTC like that. I'm mentioning my time zone here. Click save and right click, run as Spring Boot app. Okay, so now there is no error. We'll see any error here. Oh yeah, localhost 8080 port. Okay, nice. So I'm getting the index page, right? Okay, so here I have to tell two things. One thing is, yeah. So if you not added theme leaf in pom.xml, we have theme leaf, right? Do we have or not? Theme leaf, thy. Oh yeah, here only. See, if you not added a theme leaf in your project, if you're creating simply index.html, okay, so the controller won't directly take you to inside the templates, okay. So it is directly taking because I added the theme leaf, okay. So in that case, in the application properties, suffix, prefix like that you have to add, okay. Then only it will take you to the index page, okay. Since I've added a theme leaf, so whatever there in the templates file, it will automatically detect, okay. So I'm telling you is by you guys practicing or in real time. So if you not added a theme leaf, then it won't be throw you the exception, okay. So because of that, make sure you added the theme leaf in your project so that whatever there inside the templates, it will directly it will give to you, okay. You don't need to do anything, okay. So that is one thing. And next, yeah, okay. This is fine. Yeah, next, in controller we have to do some changes here, okay. So in controller, have to call so basically we are performing the read operations, right? So to perform read operations, we want something called as auto void. Okay, auto void. Here I have to call product service. Product service. Okay, so auto void. I will just import. Okay, so now again I'm saying now this product service having all my methods. See here, if you observe, I have save method is here. I have read method. This is to edit and this is to delete. Okay, I have all the methods, right? So again, here, so if I want to use that methods instead of extending or implementing the interface, so what I'm doing is I'm just calling the product service like that. Okay, So by doing like this, I'm achieving loose coupling so that I'm able to use this. Okay, so what I will do is here, yeah, so here I will give request mapping slash list product product list product. See, anyway, why I'm creating like that, because in service this is list, right? So if you see here, read is list. So why we have to get it as a list? Because what will happen when you get the data from the list, it is very easy to I mean, if you want to do any manipulation, it is very easy. Okay, so because of that, I'm getting this list, and just call service dot list all, this method here. Okay, so let me import this list method here in util package. Here, import it. Okay, so this is cool. Now this service method is there. Okay, so now I want to use this list product variable in my index page. Okay, so if I want to use something, if you remember, uh, if you're using in the view, right? So we have to do something called as model mapping here. Okay, so you have to tell with the help of model, I'm using this variable in my view part. Okay, so previously we used something called as model map. If you remember, in the JDBC we use model map there. So here I use something called as model model like this. Then I will give model dot add attribute add attribute. Okay, so here I'm using this list product. Like this. Okay, so by doing this model map, I'm able to use in my index.html. See here, list product. Okay, so I'm doing that. Okay, so now I will go to index.html. Okay, so what I will do is I will get the data in case of table format. Oops, I will take table. So I have table here. I have t head, tr, have tr, we have th. Okay, so table header one, I will give id, I will give name, one is product brand, price. Okay, when his id is there, name is there, brand is there, price is there. Okay, so now if I want to get the products, right, so what I can do is I have to iterate, right? So to iterate, to use the for loop, I'm using theme leaf, right? So now I have to use something called as a theme leaf for loop. Okay, so repeated. Okay, theme leaf for loop. So here same thing, whatever we done. See model attribute students like that they used. So you see this is the thing, this one like that we have to use trth each student. Same thing in our project. Copy and paste this th. Okay, so it is throwing error because we are using theme leaf th, right? So that link was not here. So for that, theme leaf URL. Some XML tag is required. So for that I'm searching. So theme leaf XML tag. This is the one. This is the one actually. Yeah, not yeah. This one. See here, XML like this. This tag is there. Th themeleaf.org. Okay, so if you want to use this, we just need to copy this. Okay, so here instead of HTML, I will paste this. Okay, see now errors are gone. But the thing is, here what is happening is the given student, right? So we have to change our requirements. So here product. So in controller we have this list product. List product. So one is product.id. Next is product.name. Product p brand. Then is price. Okay. So I've given product list. I'm just iterating product ID, name, brand, price like that. Okay. So yeah, we'll see any errors or I'm just stopping. Okay, see nothing I'm doing. I'm just iterating and I'm getting in a tabular format. Okay, so for that I used this. So now click on demo application, run as. Spring Boot app. Okay, so now go to here, refresh. Okay, so I'm getting some error. We'll see what is that. Product ID. So what is the exception? Is exception elevating product? Okay. So what is the uh, see? It is clearly telling there is a issue with the product name, right? Spring EL. See, this is kind of like very interesting thing because actually as soon as I given like this, so now what happening is it is trying to map, right? So now what I did is, if you observe carefully, uh, see here, I have used p name here, but I used name here. Okay, so just put p name here. Okay, so this is a good thing when we get the error. So we are in the right track. So stop and run. Now when I refresh, okay, so I'm getting it, the table format. I can set border as well. Here border is equal to 1. Let me stop. Let me run. Now refresh. See, border is coming here. Okay. So yeah, so we'll continue this project. So for this project, actually, we will implement like almost all features, including Spring Security. Will implement. So CRUD operations also will implement, create, update, delete, and also will implement. So like that. So we'll do this full-fledged project. See why I'm giving a lot of taking time and explaining you about the CRUD operations, because as a developer, most of the time, okay, in a day, most of the time, or in the majority of the time, what will happen? You need to do, especially if you are a full stack developer. So you'll spend a lot of time in spending developing the CRUD operations only. Okay. In case of user, what is happening is, for user screen, what will happen? Edit and delete operations won't be there, right? So user is able to just see the information. Some of the times, what will happen when it comes to admin, all the operations will be there. Delete will be there. Update will be there, right? So like that, it's better. That's why we are spending a lot of time now implementing this CRUD operations. Okay, so that's why. Okay, so we'll continue this project. So I will stop this project here, and I have some little bit of theory part here. So we'll be work on that. Okay. Okay. Now I will explain a lot of annotations are there. Okay. So the question they will ask you, what are the annotations you know in Spring? Okay. So annotations are basically if you have at the rate symbol, okay, at the rate auto wide or configuration. Sorry. Okay. See auto wide configuration at the rate component scan, controller service repository and request mapping cookie value, like that. There will be a lot of we have these annotations. Okay. So now you obviously know, now you have idea about AutoWide. Why did we use AutoWide? See here, this annotation is applied on fields. Okay, setter methods, constructors. Guys, always remember, you can apply annotation AutoWord with where fields, setter and methods, and constructors. Okay, only three: constructors, setter, methods, and fields. I have applied with the fields, right? So why you used annotation injects object? See here, object dependency implicitly, which means he is literally telling to achieve dependency injection. I'm using AutoWord, right? So this is the use of AutoWord. Next, we have something called as at the rate configuration. So why we use this configuration? Because most of the time, what will happen? There will be configuration files will be there. See, in my project, I have this, this configuration is there, right? The port number and all. I have another way to do it. Do this, okay? Instead of here, what you can do is you can create one more class, okay? With the help of class and all, you can do, and also you can help of XML file also you can do. Okay, you have so much of options. If you remember, like previous project, Hibernate we done, right? We done the configuration where we done with the XML file, right? So like that, you have so much of options. Okay, so that time, if you want to tell the Spring project, the configuration is in that particular path, right? So that time, go for configuration. Next, we have something called as component scan. Oh, okay, so this is very very important. And also a lot of times what will happen, this component scan, which mean some packages won't get scanned. Okay, uh, this type of errors will come. Your head will be blow off, like you're doing everything basically, so still your class files are not reading. Okay, so that time what we'll do, at the rate, see here, this annotation is to configuration annotation to allow Spring to know packages to scan for annotated components. Okay, so this actually we use here. We use here demo application. Here on top or down, you can give at the rate component scan, like that you will do, and also the package name you will specify. Okay, this is used to just to scan the packages. Okay, that is component scan. Next, we have controller. This anybody can answer, because you know controller, it will convert our class file to the controller class. So what it will do is it will take you to the particular view, or if you want to do any model mapping, you can do with the controller, right? So that is basically controller. Next, we have service. Service we have seen to perform service, execute the business logic. So what is business logic here? See here, the business logic is create. Where is that here? So we have save method. All these methods are there. Delete is there. Edit is all these methods are there. So because of that, we have implemented this service. Next, we have something called as the repository here. So repository annotation is used to Java classes which directly access with the database. The repository annotation works the marker any classes fulfills the role of repository. So we use JPA repository, right? Similarly, you have something called CRUD repository, like that. There will be repositories. So this basically repository maximum times it will be interface only. If you take here, see here, this is see here, this interface extends interface. So that's why in JPA is an interface. Okay, so don't confuse, because the relationship between two interfaces is not what implements. So if you're telling, sir, if it is implements, then why are you using extends, right? You can go for implements, right? So actually what is happening is here, this product repository is there, this is also interface and this is also interface. The relationship between this is extends. Okay, so that is one. Next, I have something called as request mapping. Request mapping uses to map the URLs. Okay, where did I used? So here. So for example, here. So now if I enter slash, it is coming, right? This page is coming. Enter slash, it is coming. Now if I want to give slash index here, when I give enter, it is, yeah, obviously it is failing, because here in the controller just give index like that, so that whenever after slash index you are using, that will go for index. Okay, so that is a use slash index to map the URLs. We have this. Okay, so yeah, this is request mapping is used to map the URLs. Next we have something called as cookie value. So cookie value is used to where this actually I thought you in this one, right? Go for that. Okay, instead of using cookies also you can do with the Spring annotation. So instead of that, here also same thing. Yeah, so in Spring also we have cookie value, get value, and set value will be there. Here same thing we done with that. Where we done, we were, yeah, in the servlet I explained now about the cookies. So use that, or else you can use @cookie value. Okay, so next we have something called as get. Okay, get, we have post, sorry, we have get, we have post, we have put, we have delete. Okay, see here, get mapping is used to read the data, post is used to insert, put is used to update, delete mapping is used to delete. Okay, this is the request mapping annotations we have. Okay, so one for read, one for post is used to insert, put is used to delete, delete mapping is to delete, put to update, delete to delete. Okay, so these are all the request mapping we have. Okay, so yeah, so what I will do is tomorrow we are going to complete this project. So we will implement a little bit of features, and meanwhile we will be working on this FAQs, so that in interview if you face these questions you are able to answer. Okay, so yeah guys, so that's all I have for you today. Okay, so what I will do is I will catch you tomorrow, and we'll continue. Okay,
All right. Thank you.
hey guys, and have a nice day, guys.
You too. Bye bye.
You too.
Yeah, bye bye. Yeah.